Hello, good evening. This is Anna Isaac, come to you live from Chennai. Just to give you a quick update on the situation right now. Remember, Chennai has witnessed heavy rains all through last night and this and today. There's been a brief respite as of now, which is why I'm out now and I'm able to give you an update on the situation. It's been raining on and off continuously, very heavy rainfall all through today. And like I said last night as well. And IMD, of course, has said that over the next 24 hours, Chennai will continue to see very heavy rainfall. And remember, on Tuesday, that is November 9th, IMD has also said that a cyclonic circulation is right now brewing in the Bay of Bengal. That is going to be developing into a low pressure area. So that will also bring rains, not just for Chennai, but for northern Tamil Nadu as well. So basically, if you're in northern Tamil Nadu in coastal area, brace yourself for more rains. The situation at the moment, of course, we've seen flooding in several parts of the city. The usual suspects that we've seen over the years. Remember 2015, these rains are being compared to the 2015 rains in December that Chennai had witnessed massive flooding then. At that time, Chennai had received, in some parts, like in Tambaram, had received almost 500 millimeters of rainfall. In comparison now, this is the highest rainfall Chennai has witnessed. Chennai has received about over 20 centimeters of rainfall. That's about 200 millimeters of rainfall. Areas like the DGP office here in Chennai has received about 230 millimeters of rainfall. Nungambakkam as well has received upwards of 200 millimeters of rainfall. So, this is over a period of 24 hours, beginning, of course, yesterday, Saturday morning until Sunday morning, 8:30 a.m. So, a lot of rainfall that it's being compared to 2015, to the 2015, floods. And we've seen those pictures come out from today where places like Velachari, Tambaram, Villivakkam are witnessing flooding. There's rainwater has entered the homes of several residents. So low-lying areas, in fact, have been impacted. Now, of course, several questions have been raised as to why situation has happened once again in a span of 6 years. Have there no lessons been learned since the 2015 floods? Now, there are, of course, multiple reasons. One, of course, the questions raised over the stormwater drains. Chief Minister Stalin, in fact, had come out today and gone out on the field and met several residents to take stock of the situation. He also addressed a press conference where he said there have been, since they've come to power, they, of course, they've gone into monsoon preparedness and they, of course, did some amount of, monsoon preparedness. But, of course, that the amount of rainfall that Chennai has received was in no comparison. And he says that following the rains, of course, there will be works will go on as far as preparing the infrastructure is concerned. Now, activists, environmentalists, experts have pointed to several reasons as to why we're seeing the floods or the situation again, waterlogging several areas. And the reasons they have said is one, of course, that the systemic issues have not been resolved since 2015. What are the systemic issues? The fact that encroachments continue to be there in lakes and our water bodies. These are continuing to be encroached, and no effort has been taken to actually remove these encroachments along our wetlands, along our water bodies. And that is why, every big rainfall that happens, every heavy spell of rainfall, we're seeing low-lying areas in the city going underwater. So until these issues are resolved, essentially experts are saying that we will continue to see this kind of rainfall. And combined with that, Raj Bhagat, of course, he's an expert. He's in fact put out a thread. Pooja Kumar is an environmentalist. She's put out a thread as well on Twitter explaining the reasons as to why Chennai will continue to see havoc every time there is a heavy rainfall. So I would urge you to go and look through what they have said. Essentially, basically, until systemic issues are addressed, we will continue to see these pictures come out. So I'm just going to give you a quick wrap on what exactly we know so far. Stalin, of course, has announced that schools will be shut over the next 2 days in Chennai, Tiruvallur, Chengalpet, and Kanchipuram. The NDRF is on standby in several of these districts as well. In Chengalpet, Madurai, teams have been deployed, Tiruvallur as well. Now, as far as water levels in the lakes are concerned, it is, of course, a red alert has been issued, a flood alert has been issued for several of the reservoirs in Chennai, Chembramakkam. Water water was released at 1:30 p.m. today. It started off with 500 cusecs. It then went over to 1,000 cusecs, and what we're presently we've heard is that 2,000 cusecs of water is being released as of now. So that is, of course, Chembrambakam. Remember, Chembrambakam had caused the 2015 floods when there was no warning given, where the water levels continue to increase, and then back then they released the waters overnight, and it led to not just inundation of several areas, but a number of lives were lost due to the mismanagement of the Chembrambakam reservoir. So, of course, district officials are ensuring that such a situation does not arise, and that is why they've begun releasing waters as of today. Now, Pundi Reservoir as well in Tiruvallur, water has started being released since today as well, since earlier in the day around 11 a.m. That also has increased from, I think, 1,000 cusecs to now to about 3,000 cusecs. So water levels across Chennai's reservoirs, in fact, are at full level, which is why waters are being released. Remember, these rainfalls are because of the northeast monsoon season. So they're not unseasonal rains in any way. The fact that these are part of our northeast monsoon season, that's why we're experiencing this rainfall. So um, that's just to give you a picture of why our water levels at full level is because Chennai and other parts of Tamil Nadu have seen a lot of rainfall in the lead up to the northeast season, a monsoon season, also during the southwest monsoon. Chennai did receive a lot of rainfall, and that is why our water levels across our dams are full, and that is why they have started releasing waters as of today to ensure that they've given a flood warning to all of the residents in the low lying in the areas that are, of course, downstream. A number of people have been evacuated as well, scores of people, in fact. My colleague Nirupa, in fact, has done a story. I would urge you to check it out. It's on the Newsnet website, where she says that a number of people living in places like in Velachery and in other low-lying areas are in fact being forced to leave their homes because they fear that there will be a 2015 situation where water will once again enter their homes. So a number of them going to to houses of other family members, or they're even like booking rooms in hotels. So today's rains, or last night's rains, in fact, have put the fear of God in a number of residents, and they are being forced to make sure that they are safe. Now, remember, weather bloggers, experts are saying that we're going to see these rains over the next 24 hours. It is, we urge you, of course, to ensure that you remain safe, stay indoors as much as you can, and don't venture out, especially when, of course, it is raining. So that is just to give you a quick update. Another update I want to give you is the fact that MK Stalin, when he did address the press conference, he said that besides educational institutions being closed, he's also urged people who are coming back from their Diwali holidays to stay behind and come back only after 2 days when the situation, of course, has eased. So that is, of course, a request by the chief minister, urging people to not return from their hometowns and to stay back for about 2 days until they come back. So that's a request made by the chief minister. Remember, it is Diwali holidays. It's a Sunday when we've witnessed these heavy rains. Now, as far as public transport is concerned, buses have been plying. The number of vehicles on the road, of course, are less compared to on a regular weekday. But that said, the suburban rail, there was a temporary suspension during the day between the Tambaram and Chennai Egmore line, the Chennai beach line, I beg your pardon. But that has resumed as well. Chennai Metro has been flying. In fact, in 2015, the only transport that was running back then as well was the Chennai Metro, because most of it, of course, is over rail, and that is why the Chennai Metro has not been disrupted. The Southern Railways has also put out a bulletin. They've said there are disruptions in certain trains. So I would urge you to look through their bulletins or call up their helpline numbers if you are traveling today by train to find out if there are any disruptions on the train that you're traveling in. So yeah, that's as far as public transport is concerned. Now, just give you a quick wrap again that we will be witnessing heavy rainfall over the next 24 hours at least. On Tuesday, November 9th, there will be a low pressure area that is forming in the Bay of Bengal and is likely to move towards northern Tamil Nadu over the subsequent 48 hours. So there will be more heavy rains in store for Chennai and, of course, the other neighboring districts as well. So that's about it from me. We will, of course, come back to you with more updates. Do of course, if you have any concerns, any helpline numbers, these helpline numbers are out on our social media handles. We will, of course, come back to you with more updates as and when we can. That's it. This is me, Anna Isaac, signing off.